Hey everybody, Louis Pate with Cruise Lou Outdoors. I wanted to show you one of my pistols I have. It's a Smith & Wesson Model 657 41 Magnum. Um, I picked it up. I was working at a gun shop. I went in one day to pick up some tools because it was my day off, and somebody had brought this in on consignment, and I snatched it up. So anyway, without any further ado, let me flip you around. We'll get you over here looking at it. Okay, so this is it, and as you can see, it's empty, so we know she's safe. Okay, so again, this is a Smith & Wesson Model 657 41 Magnum. Production date on this was in 1986. I have the exact date, but I don't remember what it was. The weird thing was this gun wasn't in the catalog in 1986. In the mid 80s, there's a distributing company called Lou Horton that commissioned a bunch of 3-inch end frame, round butt, smooth finger groove grip revolvers, and they were offered in both blued and stainless, and they were in 357, 41 Magnum, 44 Special, 44 Magnum, 45 Long Colt, and maybe 45 ACP. I can't remember. But, and you, like I say, you could get it in either flavor, blued or stainless. But this is not a Lou Horton. They came later than this gun. So, because it's not in the catalog, we're thinking this is probably a pre-production prototype, but I could be wrong. But anyway, and it's, you know, when I got it, you can see there's barely a cylinder ring on it. There was none when I got it. I'm not sure the gun had ever been fired. There was no powder buildup or anything, so I'm pretty sure that it hadn't. And it was on consignment. And, you know, when I saw it, I thought, well, hell, I can't afford that. You know, I went over and looked at it. I asked the owner's wife what the deal was on it. She told me, said it was on consignment, and I was just like, And it was on consignment for $450. So I snatched it because right now it's worth $12, just like it sits. But anyway, the 41 Magnum's an interesting story. There were 3 people that were mainly involved with the development of the cartridge. That was Elmer Keith, Bill Jordan, and Skeeter Skelton. And if you don't know who those guys were, real quickly, Elmer Keith is like the father of the Magnum handgun. He had been experimenting with hot loads in the 44 Special and the 45 Long Colt for years. And he was messing around with this idea as early as 1955. And then Bill Jordan was a Border Patrol agent. It was kind of famous. He got in a lot of gunfights, apparently. And so he had some input. And the other guy, Skeeter Skelton, was a gun writer. So the 3 of them got together, and they got with Smith & Wesson and Norma and developed this. And what Elmer Keith's idea was a 210 grain jacket at hollow point between 1,300 and 1,400 feet per second to kind of fill the gap between 158 grain 357 Magnum and the 240 grain 44 Magnum. But he also developed what he called a police special load. There was a 200 grain semi-wad cutter at about 1,000 feet per second. Now, keep in mind that when this was going on, the hollow point bullet technology just wasn't out there. I mean, yeah, there were some hunting loads, but to find one that would reliably expand at reduced loads that could be carried as a defense round it just wasn't out there. But anyway, they developed the Model 57 and the Model 58, which was basically a giant Model 10. You know, it had fixed sights. It looked just like a Model 10, but was on an end frame. And again, at a wad cutter bullet going at semi-wad cutter bullet going at 900 feet per second is pretty much a powder puff, but would be much more effective against human targets than what the 158 grain 38 special was, which, you know, is what most police departments were carrying. And a few police departments adopted the 41 police special or the 41 Magnum, but they didn't last because the emphasis between Norma and Remington and Smith and Wesson, Norma, Remington, Smith and Wesson, you know, the hunting cartridges were all the rage. The Magnum thing was going on. So that kind of killed the Model 57 and 58, or the 58 as a defensive gun for police. But the 41 Magnum carried on, albeit not in the limelight like its big brother, the 44 Magnum, or even its smaller brother, the 357 Magnum. But this gun, again, let's check and make sure that it's okay. We see that it's empty. The double action on this gun is absolutely just smooth as silk. I mean, it just stacks well. The single action, it feels like it's maybe 2 or 3 pounds. It's almost nothing. So, but I really love this thing. And like I say, I will carry it. I'll carry it when I'm hunting or fishing. Not so much in the kayak, but like if I'm bank fishing or whatever. And, you know, I really don't have the need for the kind of power this gun can produce. But where I'm going to be hunting this year, there are bear-on trail cams. So I don't know that I'll be hunting bear. If I do hunt bear, it won't be with this. It'll be with a rifle or a shotgun. But I'll have this for backup just in case. And the rig I carry it in is this. This is a Bianchi. Let's see. I forget the nomenclature on it. Let's see what it says. Number 5 BH. And I actually had this cut back an inch because it was for a 4-inch gun. And what rides with it is my Cold Steel Laredo Bowie, and I carry this as a camp knife, not as a fighting knife or anything, because it's just stupid big. But it's got plenty of weight to it. You can see it's good and thick. It's a good sturdy blade. It's a great camp knife. So that's kind of the rig that I carry it in. And I had a friend of mine in Alaska has a leather shop. He does leather work, and he actually made this for me. I thought that was pretty cool. Sent it to me. But anyway, so there you have it. That's my 41. And oh, let me show you before we go. The defense loads that I carry are a Winchester silver tip, 175 grain. And these are going about, I think these are moving out around 1,200 feet per second. Maybe a little better, 13. And then my hand loads. This is a 210 grain Hornady XPT. And these have right around 7 grains of universal clay. So 6.9 grains is the starting load. And it's, I think, 961 or 71 feet per second. So mine's a little hotter than that. I really don't remember exactly what I loaded it to. Max load is 8.9 grains at about 1,300 feet per second. So with that particular powder. But I mean, I'm nowhere near that. I wanted to keep it down nice and subtle for, you know, it's for self-defense against two-legged critters. The 210 grain bullet at 1,000 feet per second is plenty. You know, if I'm hunting, if I were to go, first off, I wouldn't just knowingly go hunting with this because it's just not, you know, I mean, unless it was like extreme circumstances. But with this gun, I carry it as a good backup, and it's got plenty of power for, you know, 4-legged and 2-legged critters. Now, were I going into bear country where there's a lot of bears, I'd probably be carrying a buffalo boar load or something in it, or I'd do up some hand loads that are ridiculous. But and I don't want to overtax this by shooting it with real heavy loads. So one day I might send this off and have it engraved. I don't know. That's really expensive, but I really love this thing. And this is one that I will never sell. It will go to somebody. But anyway, that is my Smith & Wesson model 657 41 Magnum. And she's a beast. She's a hog leg, but I really love classic revolvers, you know, the Colt Pythons and whatnot, and, you know, the Smith & Wessons and stuff. And this is just a fine, fine example of the American gun-making craft in the 1980s. I mean, this is just the machining and fit and finish on this is just super. I mean, you know, you can see a little bit of the side plate seam right here, but it's not bad, you know. And there, that one's almost invisible. So the fit and finish on this is really nice. And like I say, it's got some little holster wear marks on it. None of this is anything that going over it real good with a polishing cloth and some flits wouldn't take care of. And matter of fact, I'll probably do that this weekend. I'll go get some flits and clean this puppy up. But there it is. That's my Smith & Wesson Model 41 Magnum. We'll flip the camera around and I'll be right back. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it on the 41. As I always say in all my videos, if you're going to get on the water, please wear your PFD. Don't be that guy, okay? The other thing I always say is try to get along with everybody, you know, be nice to everybody, treat people as you would like to be treated. But if you have to, you do what you got to do, if you understand what I'm saying. So, and tight lines. That's a great thing for a fisherman to have, is a tight line. Of course, most of the time with me, it's because I've done hung a stump, not a fish. But anyway, I digress. So it's Louis Pate for Cruise Lou Outdoors. One of my carry guns, Smith & Wesson 657 41 Magnum. I hope you guys like my video. If you do, please let me know. Feel free to comment down at the bottom. You know, tell me if you got something similar, you know, tell me about it. If you got a story, tell me about it. You know, if you see something I did wrong, tell me about it. Whatever. But I'd love to hear from you guys. So, again, Louis Pate, Cruise Lou Outdoors, signing off. Y'all have a wonderful day.